Hello guys and welcome to Stretford Paddock. After the tremendous 0-0ing of Manchester United versus Real Sociedad, I am joined by Freddy Quinne.
Hi!
That was great fun, wasn't
Thrilling. Just end to end. Just the sort of game that keeps you up at night. It's why I got into football, to be honest with you.
A lot of things didn't make sense, did they? Like the starting lineup to begin with. That came out and I just went, they've used Bruno as the picture, so why is he there? And it didn't make any sense to me.
Do you know what I thought was going to happen? Is I thought that Mata was going to get some game time instead of Bruno.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to rest Eric Bailly because he's made of glass. I even thought that we were going to start with Brandon Williams instead of Wan-Bissaka. And yet I looked and I saw so many first team names on that team sheet. And I was like, does he not know that this tie is over? Does he think that we get double points for beating him twice or something? I don't understand.
It didn't make much sense. And it was being 4-0 up. Whether he doesn't quite trust it yet, whether he wanted... I think there was a few people saying he wanted to get the momentum going into the weekend, but that ended within 20 minutes of that game going.
The thing is I can understand there's people who are saying, well, why doesn't he start Shoretire? Why doesn't he start Diallo? Why doesn't he start Galbraith? Let's give these youngsters a chance. And I can understand where you're coming from there. But if you mess with the team too much, if you mess with that core dynamic and just bring in 3 or 4 players with no first team experience at all, then you do risk them getting battered. And that, in a sense, is worse than only giving them 10, 15 minutes.
Well, that was it. It only took... I just mentioned to Steve then, if they'd have scored that penalty and then got a quick goal after that, then you're going, fucking, there's actually a game on here. And even though you're not going to lose 5-0, but 2 goals in 60 minutes or 2 goals in 50 minutes is very much possible. And maybe there was that, but I think that there was enough players that aren't Wan-Bissaka, that aren't Eric Bailly, like you mentioned. Maybe you play Matic and Galbraith, so you've got a little bit of a mix in there. But he went pretty full strength. And then, obviously, first half... They got the penalty. The lad thought it was Bruno Fernandes.
It was one of the worst penalties
it's tremendous, isn't it?
Ever seen. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Fantastic. Him trying that with Bruno stood there going, you ain't going to do this, mate, are you? What's going on? Why?
Right.
Why try it?
Do you know what the thing is as well? Is it's a penalty within the first 10 or 15 minutes. You're 4-0 down. The tie's escaped you. But if you score early on, who knows? Yeah. It's the difference between giving your team hope and everything being a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
For the love of God, hit the target. Or at least come close.
Oh, it was dreadful. I mean, the tackle from Dan James was not very good.
Do you know what it looked like? It looked like one of those penalties. You know, the dizzy penalties where you have to run around in a circle and you can't see the ball.
Because I think in his run up, he's gone, I'm going to try the op here. Because he did it twice. He kind of hopped and he's gone, I'm going to try this here. I can do this. I can definitely do this. And he was thinking of it all the way up, and then he did it and went, yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
He went off beginning of the second half as well. I imagine his manager went mental.
Well, like you said, that kind of killed the game, because even missing that penalty, even United went, yeah, these lot aren't scoring tonight.
It was one of those games where I kind of feel like every once in a while there should be a rule in football where the referee can go round at half time and go, should we just fuck this off? Do you know what I mean? Should we just all get home an hour earlier tonight and just have a break?
We said it before. Sociedad should have had the option to go, lads, we're not coming.
Oh yeah,
this coronavirus thing's going around. It's not great.
One of our youth coaches sneezed, so we're going to. Everyone's in lockdown.
We're not coming, and we were 4-0 down. I know that shouldn't really affect it, but we are 4-0 down. We're going to stay here. Just you go through. You go and play the last 16, lads.
Do you know what? I was really disappointed with Sociedad as well, because even in a game where they had literally nothing to lose, they still offered so little. Really,
especially as of the start of the season, they were top of La Liga. I mean, they've dropped off a little bit now. They're 5th, I think, in the Liga. But everyone's going on, and also you look at this week in Atletico Madrid playing Chelsea, and all the hype around that saying Spanish league's good. You still got Atletico Madrid. You've got teams like Sociedad. Sociedad haven't even put up a fight in 2 legs. Atletico Madrid, top of the Liga, playing a poorish Chelsea. I'm saying that poorish because we are playing them on Sunday, and don't want to slag them off too much because they are a decent team, but they're not great. And Chelsea outplayed them. It's the level of Liga at the minute compared to the Premier League there's starting to become a gap, I think, again, if not already.
You've got to say, United's defence has been poor all season. It's been our real weakness, to the point where we've had teams at the bottom who've, in fact, I think of all the teams at the bottom at the moment, I think they've all scored against us.
Yep. All scored first, I think.
Yeah, and Brighton, I think, got 3, and we're lucky not to get 5 or 6, and they've never looked like scoring against anyone since. But against us, they were prime Barcelona.
Yeah.
Now, Real Sociedad, over 2 legs, nothing. Apart from that penalty, which was a moment of madness, and the first 2 minutes of the first leg, for most of the tie, nothing. Not even close. Even when they had nothing to lose but go forward, nothing. Really wasn't impressed by them. Having said that, it wasn't a good United performance, but I don't think it needs to be. No. The job was done first leg. The fact that we didn't play well, the fact that we didn't impress anybody is by the by. We got through the game. We didn't get anyone injured. It was a foregone conclusion, and we stuck it out.
Absolutely. One last word. The 2 lads coming on as well, Amad Diallo and Shoretire. Good to see him get on the pitch.
Yeah, it's nice to see them get some minutes. And do you know what I really like about that? Is the way that Solskjaer did it. He didn't put them in the starting 11 as 2 players who've just come into the team, who have all this pressure to perform over 90 minutes. Because you've got to remember that Shola is 17 years old, and he turned 17 a couple of weeks ago, and he looks like a child.
He looks 17.
So I'd ID him. Do you know what I mean? He looks too young to buy fags. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You look at Amad Diallo, somebody who's had all of 60-odd minutes of first-team action for Atlanta before he came over here, and about 5 minutes for United last week. These are really green players, and I think it helps just to sort of bed them in nice and slowly. There's no rush. There's so much to be lost. Think about confidence and things like that. What can be lost from playing a full 90 minutes and having no impact on the game, or being hauled off at half-time. At least this way they get 15, 20 minutes. And also, how good is it for the rest of the players in United's under-23s to see...
There's a chance.
Exactly. If you go out and you play like you did against Blackburn, where you destroyed them, if you play like you play against Liverpool, where you destroyed them, then the brightest sparks will get first-team action. They'll get called up to the first-team squad. And maybe, if all goes well, you might get a bit of game time. That's how an academy's meant to be.
And it might happen. It happens what Marcus Rashford did 5 years ago today. He gets put on the bench, put in the starting lineup, scores, hasn't left the team since, captains tonight 5 years later. It only takes little bits of luck here and there, and you have to be extremely as good as Marcus Rashford is, but it takes that one bit of luck and then taking your chances.
What we have at United, not many other teams have.
No.
Where you have players like Marcus Rashford, like Mason Greenwood, like Dean Henderson, like Tuanzebe, like McTominay, who are all first-team players who have all come up through the system. Yeah. Now, if you compare that to being a youth player at, let's say, City or something like that, Phil Foden has broken through at City, who is a generational talent.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Nobody else.
They've all gone. They've all had to leave. Jadon Sancho, look at him.
Had to go.
Had to leave and then made a success abroad. Yep. Now, if you're in United's academy, you're looking at all the players who are getting involved with the first team and they're getting minutes, and you're looking at all the players that are in the current squad that came through that system, and you're thinking, I've got a chance here. Whereas if you're in City's team, you're thinking... Well, all that's going to happen is they're going to spend 500 million on players before I even get a look in.
And not get a chance. And the one thing is, Phil Foden's obviously come through. It's a little bit easier to give forwards debuts and things like that, but you look at United, Tuanzebe coming through again, McTominay coming through. There's a lot of lads gone on loan this year, centre-halves and defenders, and even Brandon Williams coming on again, getting his chance. We blood through all the way through. We've got players, and there isn't that you're going to have to do it elsewhere before you come back here. There's going to be a chance at Manchester United.
Well, if you count Henderson, Tuanzebe, Brandon Williams, McTominay, Rashford and Greenwood, that's 6 players from the academy who are young lads who are playing first-team football and who are involved in the first team. I don't think right now there's another top team in all the leagues that I can think of off the top of my head that has got that link between their academy and their first team right now.
There's not, and that's what there's people that don't see that. There's people that say, "Why don't you spend the money?" But exactly.
If we were Barcelona, they'd be creaming themselves over this. They'd be, oh, it's another golden generation for La Masia or whatever. But actually,
did you see Joe Cole call it La Masala the other week?
Oh yes, yes.
The Chicken Curry Academy that he's just brought up out of nowhere. Oh, Joe Cole. Yeah, the La Masala. Right. Thank you very much for coming on today, Freddy.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Absolute pleasure. If you're not already, subscribe to Freddy's YouTube and also check out what he's doing on TikTok. He's doing some stuff for us on TikTok as well. Doing fantastic work on there. Cheers for coming on, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're subscribing. I'll see you next time.